Before we begin, thank you very much to Wes R. for joining my Patreon campaign. Very appreciated. Thank you very much for helping the channel survive and continue. I have only 2 shoutouts left to go. You've run out of steam. I knew you would eventually. So look forward to the regular intro being on the way soon. But I do thank everyone for all the support. Like literally right now, you have no idea how much it means to me. I might have to do a video just to tell you how much it means to me right now, because it's gotten very, very important. But that's for another day. For today, we have to talk about the brand new Hasbro Fanstream for Transformers, which means a whole bunch of new stuff revealed, as well as a whole bunch of old stuff revealed. Because that's just the way these things work. First off, can I just point out the set design here with the shelving in the back and the complete barren blank space on these shelves? I'm not sure how you just say we're gonna set this up to look like the big Transformers fan experience and showing off all of our product, and put We'll put 12 figures on these huge shelves behind us. It feels a little bit thin. Just saying. But we are back with the usual crew, and we're going to go through all the stuff that they revealed bit by bit. And that does start with what is going to be the San Diego Comic-Con set for the year, which is Dion and Ariel. Or I'm sorry, Ariel, because we have to spell it with an E, and Dion. Which, to be honest, I haven't watched War Dawn in a long time, which had me actually second-guessing which one was it? Which one is accurate? I've been saying Dion for the longest time, because that actually sounds futuristic-y. But yeah, we've seen these before. They're looking good. It's nice to see official releases for them. They did kind of explain that Ariel has a absolute nothing robot mode in the cartoon, so yeah, there's just no way to really make an accurate one. So they did the best they could with the RC mold. And then, yeah, Dion, whatever. Yeah, it's another cup retool. He still has that stupid freaking snack box. I am so sick of the snack box. But yeah, we've talked about these before. They do look really, really good. I really do like that they're continuing these War Dawn themes. Incorporating the Decepticons flying in on the top of the box is kind of clever. To recreate the scene. That's really, really cool. And yeah, they do look really nice together. I am happy they did this shot just to show just how different Orion Pax and Dion look together. You can see the Dion's got his arms squared off on the forearms. The lower legs are different. The pelvis section is different. There's very little on here that is coming from the original toy. So they do look very different from each other. Though the longer you stare at it, the more similar they look. So just kind of move on. Don't get too caught up in the appearance. Just be glad the whole War Dawn cast exists. It is cool though. We went into Swoop. Swoop we have already seen before. Swoop looking good still. My boy Scar still looking good. I am happy to see that they've had a lot of feedback to the point where they mention it on air. That they've had a lot of people asking, are you making a leader one? Are you making because I love that there's so much good reception for Scar as the 6th Dinobot on the team, to the point where people want full size, fully realized toys of Scar, right? I don't think you're gonna get a Studio Series leader out of it. Can we remold a Snarl? Can we do some there's gotta be some way of working them in, right? There's got to be some cheeky way of reusing one of the molds to make a Scar, right? But it's cool. All right, so let's get to the actual reveals. So first big reveal is Beachcomber. We heard about this on the last stream. Now we actually get to see the full physical prototype. It does look spot on Beachcomber. Absolutely. Yeah, no denying it and no hiding it. Yeah, he is looking really, really good. Beachcomber is kind of a simple design in the first place, so nothing terribly exciting or unexpected here. I do like how the roll bar folds back onto his back and even protrudes out the front a little bit, so he does have a clean profile. The backside of him should look really, really nice. Not that I'm looking at a robot's backside. Don't take that out of context. All right, don't get weird about it, internet. So, the weird thing about this toy in particular is that he is actually coming with a parrot accessory. A parrot accessory that fits on 5mm ports. This is so weird. It looks like it fits on 3mm ports as just a stand-on, but the base also is compatible with 5mm ports, so it can be either or. I really hope this does not end up being his snack box. I really hope that this is not his box of Energon goodies, and like every single remold of this toy that's going to come out from here for Infinity is going to have like a randomly colored parrot involved somehow. I'm really hoping that's not the case, but I'm afraid it will be. I mean, it might be at least funny. It might be funny just as a theme that continues throughout the toy. Now, for such a simple character design, I am happy to see he's gotten such a good like makeover for this mold. Like, yeah, look at the backside. He looks so clean. And they pointed out that the roll bar, like the grill, the front section, the brush guard becomes his gun. So it's okay. So nice weapon storage like that's not bad. And we've seen how they reuse that with like crankcase remolding. So baking that into the mold to begin with is probably going to be good in the long run. It looks good. Oh, it was also pointed out, I believe this is the one they pointed out. There was a point out to make PVC tires. So he actually so because he's a dune buggy, they wanted him to roll really, really well. So he rolls really, really well. So that's kind of a switch up from this typical plastic ones that don't really do anything and don't really roll well at all. And there's my dog getting angry at something outside. She's been doing that all day. Let's hope she calms down so we can talk about Devcon. So, looking at it originally, like, I think this caught everyone off guard, like, because like it doesn't look like anything, right? It's just like a very pure Devcon toy with his spaceship mode. It is a little bit cheap look. Admittedly, the spaceship mode looks a little bit cheap with his arms just hanging out there on the side with no real like element of transformation to them outside of hiding the hands. But it still looks like his vehicle mode in the show. And then they pointed out this is actually a very heavy retooling of 86 Blur, which we've seen a lot of retoolings of 86 Blur, but they tend to be really good. And if the mold, if the design and the character suits it, okay, fine. I'm not going to argue it because it still looks like Devcon. It's still a really good looking Devcon. You know, it would have been nice for him to have his own original mold, but I also understand why he wouldn't, because when are they ever going to reuse that figure? They could, though. Hasbro's been insane lately, so maybe there's some homage here. Maybe there's some character they can throw in on this tool that I don't know about, and I'm not thinking of. They can just be like a deluxe-sized spaceship. Who knows? But he does look good. He does look good. Even if he's not his like own 100% mold, still looks really solid. All right. Axelgrease. So this was the throw off. I think this threw a lot of people off because all of a sudden, for starters, when we saw the pictures on the box, I think we were expecting traditional Junkion colors on the Mad Max car. No, we are getting what they described as inverted Junkion colors. So pinkish purple instead of orange. We're getting these dark blues instead of the beige. It is their take on not only a female Junkion, but a Decepticon Junkion. So Axelgrease is a evil girl. Interesting. She is a partial retool from the tow truck. Man, I cannot keep the names of the new Junkion straight for me. Whatever, you know who I'm talking about, but it's using parts from that, which you can't really tell. It still forms this like really, really buff, beefy car. So it works well. I think it works really, really nice. I love the look of it. It's a very like atypical color scheme for a female character. It's definitely Decepticon in color scheme, and just the idea, like, that is something interesting to point out. You know, it's been over 35 years since the original animated movie, and here we are getting our very first female Junkion toy, and also seeing our very first Decepticon Junkion, which I guess that's what they described it as, is the Decepticon Junkion. But Detrius is a thing, and we even know Detrius is coming out. It's in the listings. So we know that that's not technically true, right? So technically, we've seen a Decepticon Junkion before, but it didn't. But like Detrius doesn't really fit the style of the other Junkions. This does. And it's definitely the first female Decepticon Junkion we've ever seen, so I'll give it that. It looks really, really nice. Really, really like it. Alright, so moving on. Yeah, yes, you look good. You look good, Axelgrease. Really, really like you. Pre-order already in. There you see the comparison. Okay, so you can see where some of the parts have been redone. It's really not many. Like, some of the accessory parts are the same. The wheels are the same. But like, I thought the front end at the very least would be the same. No, front end is way slimmer. Sleeked down a lot. I literally think it's just like the wheels, some accessory pieces, the doors, and then some of the internal robotic stuff. Alright, Dirge, we basically confirmed it's just a straight up reissue. They mentioned reissuing the other nose cones, the other cone head seekers, thrust included. But yeah, we basically just know this is where Dirge is coming into play. The Nemesis Leo Prime, or Dark Lio Convoy, Black Amber Lio Convoy, however you want to phrase it. We got to see it. I'm not enthusiastic about this one. Apparently an extra blaster is about the only added thing there is to this one. Otherwise, it is just a straight up repaint. I don't think it looks as good as like the Dark Amber Lio Convoy did. It's definitely trying to harken to that, as well as the original Black Nemesis Dark Leo Prime Convoy Lio, whatever. It's been a long day. It's been a long day. I'm not really feeling this one. I wish there was a little bit more. See, it's weird to me that like they went straight like super flat colors on this one, super dark colors, and just let little tiny hits of teal here and there. Whereas something like Nemesis Primal, they decided that's where we're gonna like, that's where we're gonna throw like a bunch of purples in for no reason, right? So I really wish they had gotten that in their heads and thrown some extra color into this design, because it does look a little bit flat to me. And then we get to the big boy. Well, yeah, I guess in this case, yes, this would be the big boy of the reveals, the one we've been waiting a long time for, Armada Megatron, finally revealed, and it does look really, really good. It doesn't look like Hotshot in that they tried to, like, rework the entire thing into a modern engineering scheme. It looks like they did what they've done with what Armada Prime seems to be, and what Starscream was, where they just take the original toy and upscale it to modern design and articulation. That seems to be the goal here, and it works. It works really well. This looks really, really good. Tank mode looks really, really good. I love how much they've kept from the original toy with the turret and the cannon still working. What's weird to me is, like, you can see, look at his left hand here. We're going to see it a little bit differently later. For starters, on this shot, the mouth looks a little bit odd. I think the mouth could have been up a little bit higher on the sculpt, but that's literally the only, like, real issue I have with the overall look here. We're gonna get to some better in-hand shot, like, close-ups, I think. But, this, I'm hoping, is just an early coloring, because the black on the head and the chest are way too dark. I really prefer like the dark gray that the preview images had. Let me go back, because I don't think we're gonna get a good look at the hands like I wanted to. In these shots, Hasbro Pulse and all those, that's where the good shots are. But I will point out that the hands are differently sculpted. So the left hand is an open sculpt to kind of match the original, and it's a little bit more skeletal looking, because that was the whole like opening hand and revealing the knife gimmick thing that the original one could do. This one does not do that. There's no hidden knife, but they did keep the unique looking hand, which is interesting to me. I think the compensation that they showed off is the fact that there is a port in that hand that can actually accept weapons. They also showed off that, yes, he can go with like the full artillery mode. It can still like swivel to the front of him to put the turret forward. That's really cool. All right. This was cool too. All right. So, yeah, just general thoughts on the Megatron. Yeah, it looks really, really good. At this point, they mentioned that they left a lot of ports and pegs open on this toy for something else coming out. So they're either hinting at a tidal wave, or they're what I feel is more likely is they're hinting at mini-cons. That's what I feel is more likely out of these scenarios, but they're definitely hinting that something is coming out that this toy is engineered to be ready for. Alright, so now we can move on. So Hasui-san is a name they mention a lot on these streams as one of the designers and engineers at Takara that makes these toys actually work when they become physical objects. We only get to hear his name mentioned on these streams, but here he actually does come forward. He sent in a video from Japan to show off the Commander Optimus Prime, which is still looking really, really, really good. Really cool to hear from the engineer that made this toy possible, who also worked on the original, by the way. And yeah, I love seeing all these comparison shots to see what all the modes look like. You'll notice they're still not really showing the base mode. Like, there's pictures of the back of the box now that show it, but I don't know, they're really kind of like obfuscating the fact that there is like a base mode involved here, because that is one of the original modes. You'd think they'd show it a little bit, even if it is drastically different now. Point being, we got a really good close-up look. What interested me about this is that the style of this video is very much in line with toy reviews out of Japan. If you've ever seen those, it is very like flat background. It is very much to the point. There's very few, like, it's very rare in Japanese reviewers that I've seen for them to really have like a really like out there personality. Like, I mean, there's like Leon Chen. Well, okay, someone outside is honking and angry. But there's Leon Chen is one of the things, and Will Toffa is another one that comes to mind, who actually like puts personality out there. So it's cool. It's interesting to see, like, that is, this is very much traditional like toy review in Japan style, I guess. It kind of moved beyond this a while back. Okay, so that was their in-hand presentations for now. They have the Armada Prime available and ready and on display. They've announced that the pre-orders for a lot of this went up already. Some of it, like Megatron, is going to be delayed a little bit, and then I think Prime is still a few weeks off, according to them. Yeah, as always, if you do intend to pre-order these things, I sincerely appreciate you using my Entertainment Earth link to do the pre-ordering. You're not going to get a discount on pre-orders. You get a discount, a 10% off discount on things that are in stock. And you do get free shipping on anything $59 and over. So yeah, cheap plug out of the way, but it does really help the channel. So if you plan to pre-order these and you do it through my link in the description, very appreciated. My dog is upset again. I don't know what has gotten her so riled up. Box looks super cool. Box looks really, really good. Armada Optimus is not a design I get terribly excited for, but that shot is just super cool. That just makes it look really awesome. And you see like animation style to vehicle mode transformation on the side. I think that was a really cool touch. Here in the back, now you can see the base. There is a base mode on the back. It is not the same one, but there's legacy to it, I guess. All right. Pre-order April 18th. All right, you have a date. Mark calendar. Wake up early or late. I don't know. It's your life. I'm not your dad. Yeah. All right, so they showed off the Ark, which was, strangely enough, it's one of the prototypes, so the coloring is a little bit more orange than they wanted in the final release. And, of course, when they pulled this out, you know exactly what the final reveal is going to be. It's going to be the Nemesis. This is very much an early prototype, right? So it's going to be purple because that's the color of the original vehicle, but only some of the parts are in that color. We've got this powder blue, we've got silver, we've got beige. It definitely, the lower wings look like it was fresh off of like, we just molded dirt. We just did our new run of Dirge. So so as long as there's a little bit of brown left, let's just run these colors for Nemesis. So they did show it off. It looks really cool. Like, it's taken a few liberties with the designs, but then again, it has to be a physical transformer, so that's completely fine. No surprise there. There's a few really cool touches they've already shown off. So one of them is the fact that there are ramps that deploy out the sides that have seekers ready to launch, which I think is cool. One ramp is specifically to Conehead seekers. And I really do want to say that that might be some like backdoor homage to Beast Wars, because the original fight for the Nemesis on that final episode was for the Nemesis and the Ark to both be in flight and for these Coneheads to be reactivated to fly off and join the battle. And then once they get wiped out, that explains why they weren't with the rest of the Decepticons when they woke up in 1984. They didn't get around to that. There wasn't budget for that. But you can deploy Coneheads from this one, which is interesting because otherwise Coneheads have never been associated with the Nemesis. They weren't on the ship as far as we know. All right, so let's see. The detail does look great. I'm glad they didn't flatten out the bottom. They actually made the flat bottom an optional thing. You can sit it on the back, so traditional like space shuttle style. Or, yes, if you want to display it in ship mode on a flat surface, the bottom wing does unfold. That's a really cool touch to think of. So that's really, really nice. Really nice. And then the robot reveal. So again, early prototype colors. This is going to look very different once they finalize it. It is a big, slender ladycon. Big, slender lady former. Her arms are going to be so long. Like, I'm almost thinking, like, are the shoulders sitting too low? Or, like, we're going to have, like, a wider, like, shoulder profile in the final transformation when, like, all the parts are finalized? I don't know. It just looks like she's got these, like... Do you remember Big O? We talked about Big O in the news in the last Q&A video, which, by the way, if you want a question answered next month, go leave a question in the comment section of that video, please. But yeah, like, she has these like gigantic like lower arms that are gonna hang down really far if you straighten them out. Like, again, I don't know if that's a mistransformation or if they're just trying something different with their proportions. It might just be like where the bulk of the vehicle has to go, so they're just gonna end up being that long. There's no real controlling it. But it doesn't look bad. Not saying it looks bad. It's just a different thing than I was expecting. So they described her as the last Decepticon, which is an interesting idea because we've got the last Autobot. That is, you know, that's what the Ark was based off of. So now here we have what is their imagining of like the last Decepticon. It is a Decepticon emblem styled helmet, so it does look very Tarn. That's why we thought Tarn was the background character for the Legacy Evolution poster. No, it was this girl. And the helmet folds down for a battle mask, which I thought was a neat touch. Nice, just a simple little additional gimmick there. Yeah, she's got gun turrets all over her as well. The paint apps on the chest and the shoulders and the head looking really, really strong there. Yeah, it looks really, really cool. Really impressive. The other feature they showed off, which took a little bit of work. So the front part of her shins can come off and then form laser rifles, or the extra wings attached to her can form these tiny little hatchets, which look a little bit silly in her hand. But you know what? It's an easy way to add an accessory piece, so fair play. And yeah, I think it's a really interesting counterpoint to how bulky the Ark is, to see her like so sleek down and slender. Now, the issue I have here is that she's going to be at the new price for Titan classes, which is $200. And it doesn't seem like she comes with any like additional built-in figure, because Ark came with Mainframe, who turned into Teletran 1, and that was the big play feature. It doesn't seem like Nemesis has as many play features as the Arc does. It seems like she's been budgeted down a lot more. And I'm hoping I'm wrong about that. I'm hoping we get a full reveal that shows a bunch more things she can do. But for now, I'm a little bit like cautiously excited for it. Because I definitely feel like there might be... I mean, obviously, we're looking at a prototype still. Like, there's panels. They're just flipping around on her arms. They don't really have anywhere to go yet. So we'll see how this gets refined down and how different it is once we get the final sample in, which they're saying like in a few weeks we're going to see the final sample. So I'm looking forward to that. And hopefully a full feature reveal, because that's going to make or break my willingness to spend $200 on this toy. All right, so we move on from there. We go into Studio Series, and this is their Space Bridge section where they show off, and they basically just announce toys that aren't ready to show, but they acknowledge that they're in the pipeline. So basically just confirming listings, right? So confirming things we've already heard of. So yes, a Core Class Bumblebee's on the way, repainted from Laserbeak, no big deal. Brawn, we finally confirm, Studio Series 86 Deluxe. Even they mentioned that, you know, he dies in the first 10 minutes, so it's like a little bit morbid. We're a little bit unfortunate we're making a figure for him, but cool that we're getting it. If there is like a 3mm post on his left shoulder for a blast effect, I'm gonna laugh so hard. I'm gonna laugh so hard if you could like literally put like an explosion effect right there on the shoulder where he was apparently fatally injured. But I mean, it continues the mini-bots. We don't have a whole lot left, but it does kind of start putting me back into like the mindset of where is Gears, who was scheduled for Kingdom and got canceled, and now it's been 2 years on, more than that now, and we still do not know where Gears is getting slotted back in. So now I'm kind of wondering what happened to Gears. We confirm a Cliff Jumper for War for Cybertron's toy line. Now, it's just going to be a retool of Bumblebee, so that's not huge. What is huge is that they announced that he's from the DS games, so that he's fair game, and they actually mentioned that they want to dip further into the DS library of exclusive characters, which brings up things like the Shockwave that everyone liked the design of, and a lot more that I would really, really want to see, because I think some of the DS games had more interesting designs than the retail, like console games. I'm looking forward to that. They also confirmed a Voyager Megatron as well. I loved the Deluxe Megatron in this design, so if it's just like a beefier version of that, I'm going to be thrilled. So yeah, let's move on. They announced, a Studio Series Rhinox on the way. Very obvious at this point. We still don't see the robot mode for its movie model, which is still a little bit frustrating. They announced how many steps it would take, too. He's kind of a complicated boy. So I'm, we know it's just going to be a big rhino, right? And we have no idea, how close it's going to be to the Rhinox we remember. They also announced a interesting one. So this is it's going to be the movie Optimus Prime. It's going to be Rise of the Beast Optimus Prime Voyager Class Studio Series, but it's going to be released under buzzworthy Bumblebee because it's a retool of the Bumblebee movie Optimus Prime with the necessary changes to the change for the movie. It's not a bad. That's an obvious call, but also it's super weird that Optimus Prime's main figure for this movie is going to be a Target exclusive. That's a little bit weird. That's just a little bit weird. But yeah, that is the lineup. That is the lineup of things about to happen. So that was cool. So takeaways. There is some cool stuff in there. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. No, it's all junk. It's all crap. I'm not buying any of it. A lot of us we've seen before. The Beachcomber does look great. I like the extra steps they took. Devcon looks fine. Yeah, Axelgrease looks very surprising. Very surprising. Yep, Dirge is coming back. Lio Convoy, meh. Megatron's great. They did such a good job on the Megatron. And then blurry. Yeah, just to get back to the Nemesis. And then, cautious optimism from the Nemesis. So that's the full recap. I think it took me almost as long to recap it and give my thoughts as it did for them to actually do the presentation. But I want to make sure I don't like miss anything, right? I want to make sure it's all there. I want to make sure everything's accounted for. So thank you guys for watching. I do appreciate that. Like, hang on a second. Was there something weird going on with this? Oh no, there's some. Okay, yeah, there's some. Sorry, okay. So if everything looked off center there, or something looked weird about my background, I apologize. Apparently that was off. Professionalism here at the TJOmega YouTube channel. But as always, thank you guys for watching. I will see you next time. Guys, I am facing the most powerful enemy any YouTuber can face, the algorithm, and I need your help to defeat him. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and leave a comment. Every time you do, we attack that algorithm and we drive it back until it can no longer defeat this channel. Thank you very much.